Hey, what's up, guys? Casey Abrams here with the IDOLS podcast. This week we got Maiya Sykes, one of my very good friends. She is kind of a local legend here in LA and a world-renowned singer. She's got kind of an operatic voice, but she can also scat you under the table. I first met her when I was on tour with Postmodern Jukebox, and we've been friends ever since, talking about harmonies, melodies, scales. Her uncle was the person who gave Michael Jackson that famous glove. We also talk about some incredible encounters that she had with Prince. She sang with everyone and she's been all over the world. Maiya Sykes coming at you, bassy out.
We are idols with the voices. We are idols.
This is a song I learned in camp with Jewish white kids. It is called Scrotum, Just a Little Bag of Skin. And it goes like this. And a 1, and a 2. A 1, 2, 3. A scrotum, scrotum, just a little bag of skin. Scrotum, scrotum, just to keep the testes in. Wrinkly, crinkly, covered with hair. What would we do if they weren't there? It's just a scrotum, just a little bag of skin. We really mean it. Just a little bag of skin. Go tell your daddy. Just a little bag of skin. Ah.
Okay, welcome to the IDOLS podcast.
Hey.
That is the perfect way to do it. Now, as you were saying, you were not on Idol, but you were on The Voice. And
I was.
I didn't know that. I remember when you told me, you was like, yeah, I was on The Voice. I was like, what? Because I had known you through Postmodern Jukebox.
That's fair.
Yes. So, what made you want to do The Voice? And were you singing before that?
Oh, okay. In all fairness, I never wanted to do The Voice. No tea, no shade to The Voice. I never was like, ooh, I want to go do one of these shows. I was in a musical that was produced by some friends of mine, and they're actually redoing it. It's a group called Cinevita, and this musical was based on Tarantino films. So they would basically make a cabaret show using scenes from the Tarantino films, and then they use the scores of the films to make kind of like a Broadway book, right?
Yeah.
So they're actually doing the John Hughes version. So it's like all like a nod to the 80s, like Brat Pack, that kind of thing.
Right.
Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink.
Oh, cool.
And they're doing that currently now. So shout out to Shane and all the people at Cinevita. And if you ever want to see anything like that, go to, I think it's cinevita.com. And
Nice.
that's just me being nice.
Is that on the record or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was for the record. And now they call it Cinevita because they have a new space.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And they're very nice people. But so I was doing that musical, and it was at a space called DBA that is now Delilah's.
Whoa.
Okay. So we opened that space at DBA with this Tarantino musical, and Michelle McNulty Casting came and asked the producers if me and I want to say about 7 other people from the cast would come and audition for The Voice. So at the time, I was backup singing for an artist named Leona Lewis, and she won X Factor, and she's really, really cool.
Whoa.
And I was backup singing for her. So they, the producers called me and said, we got a call from McNulty Casting, and they'd really like you to come audition for The Voice. And I was like, I don't know. And what ended up happening was they gave me the audition, and I was out with Leona Lewis on the day I was supposed to audition, and our flight was severely delayed.
Oh.
So I called them, and I was like, I'm so sorry, before my audition, because I was trying to be professional. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to make this time. And they was like, is there any way you can get here by like 7 p.m.? And I was like, okay. So because they were so, accommodating, I was like, okay, well, let me pony up. Like, that's nice of them. And I don't want to embarrass this production company or,
Right.
because that was a factor, I'll be honest. Anyway, long story short, they had me in this audition for a very long time, and I didn't know what any of this meant. And I was told that if you are accepted into this next round, then in a couple of months you'll go and audition for, I guess, an executive production round. But I never did that. So about 2 days later, I was called and they told me I had auditioned for season 8, but they wanted to fast track me to be in season 7. But that meant that I had to be ready to go in 5 days. So everybody else had months to prepare for this, and I had 5 days. I sold my car. I remember like taking out jobs because I had to take off work,
Right.
And you're sequestered for however many times, whatever. And then I was kicked off the very next episode, but I had given away all of my work. So there was a really like hard 6 months after that because I didn't. It's kind of not the same when you're already a working professional, and I was. But then you couldn't say you were on The Voice, so there was that period of after when I was kicked off, then being on The Voice, then being in a 4-chair turn, but you have to act like you're still on the show. So I'm sitting here like so poor and having to and knowing I've been kicked off already and having to give interviews like, yeah, Pharrell is great, The Voice. Like, I don't know anything about Pharrell. He said like maybe 2 sentences to me. I'm sure he was very nice, but I don't know anything about him.
Whoa.
So
Oh my gosh.
and it was kind of weird to pretend like, yay, this person mentored me, this person said 2 sentences to me. And I felt like I was kind of put up as like the Goliath to this child, and I was never going to be the person who was like, I'm the better singer than you. He was 18.
Oh, was that the
battle,
the battle rounds?
yeah, whatever,
Yes.
yeah.
When you did
And
If I Ain't Got
Yeah.
You. Okay.
And it was just, it also was kind of in a weird way kind of set up for him to go well because Alicia Keys is his favorite singer. They changed the song midway from so I had like spent this time learning all this other song, and luckily I knew If I Ain't Got You because I've done cover bands my entire life. But it just was a very odd experience. I can't say it was good or bad. A lot of good things came from it, a lot of hard things came from it. So to me it's just a nice chapter in my life, and I do my best to look at it for the positives, and I think the main positive is that it allowed me to connect with other people beyond me. It allowed me to connect in other entities like Postmodern Jukebox and Scary Pockets and other ways that people have been allowed to get to know me. So I'll always be grateful for the experience, even though I'll be honest, it took me a while to learn how to be grateful for it.
Yeah, for sure. And then you got the Scary Pockets thing. Yeah, it's if you treat it like a platform, it's like, hey, this is the next thing. It's something to put on the resume. It's going to help you out. And I think that you took advantage of that.
I did my best.
Yeah.
But one thing, when people have asked me years later, what should I go on The Voice? Should I go on one of these shows? My answer is always yes, and I'm always going to say that. First of all, read that contract very, very gangsterly. Just scan it in AI and have them give you the best points of view. That's one. 2, know that if you have songs, right, you can't put them out in a medium for a certain amount of time or the show owns them. And that's a part of the contract, right? But what you can do is have those songs in the wings, and the minute your contract is up, then you can release those songs because you could have recorded them pre the show. It's only after the release date in production that you can do it. So I think if I had known those things then, I would have had an easier time taking advantage of it. But it's something that I'll tell people now. You also have to be cognizant of the fact that this is a television show. That's their main reason for existing. They don't really care about you. They're not required to care about you. You are a character and a character arc in their show, and they are going to treat you accordingly. So it's your job to treat yourself like an individual because you are that. Nobody can rewrite you or define you. That's your job.
Right. That's beautiful. And that's the one thing I feel like a lot of people on my season and other seasons of American Idol did not listen to the producers. The producers always said, guys, this isn't a singing competition. This is a TV show. We're casting. And it was like, as long as you go by those rules and you think about that, you're going to make it a little bit farther and you're going to have a better time. So,
and that's the thing. One thing I will say is I never got the opportunity to go a little bit farther. But I was a favorite. So if it had gone by the audience and them voting, I would have gone farther.
Yeah, well,
so some of these and that's another thing you have to be cool with. Some of these things are done for the drama of it. Because again, you are a character arc in the story and you kind of can't take that personally. And that's hard to say when it feels so personal.
Right, and you're not writing the story. They're writing the story.
And you don't know how they've cast you.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because the one at first it seemed like they cast me as like the backup singer that finally got to break through, because that's another thing. I want you to look at those shows and see their typical narratives. There is always the person who was a professional backup singer that now is getting their shine on every single one of them shows. Every single one of those shows. But I want you to notice something. Past Javier, they never let one of those people win. So if you are a backup singer and don't expect to win. Try to make the top 5, try to make the top 10 if they allow it. And realize it's an if they allow thing.
Wow. Okay. Dang, well, that's good advice to give to people, and just try to enjoy it. I think it's great that you had that moment, and like I had a couple moments, and you had that moment where all four of them turned around. So I hope that validated you as a singer, even though you're doing things before that.
I think the thing is, you have to take all of that with a grain of salt. It was validating at the time, but when you see the makeup of how they do that, I also felt a lot of that was engineered. I was given a very favorable song by a man, so it wouldn't look typical that I would sing that. I also did that very strategically when I did my auditions. I think one of the reasons why I got eliminated so early is because I really saw four steps ahead. And I tried to tell other singers. For example, there was a section where they give you a list of songs to pick from, right? I told everybody who was around me at my table, I remember we were having lunch that day, and I said, cool, don't pick an artist that you already sang. So if there's another, like if there was a Sam Smith song, I wouldn't have picked a second Sam Smith song on any of the choices. And they were like, but you get 5 choices. I said, I don't care. They're going to give you that second song, and then they're going to eliminate you and say, I wish you had given us more variety. Everyone who picked didn't listen to me, that exact thing happened to them.
Damn. Wow.
I knew that the next song I picked had to be by a woman, so I picked all women's songs. And then when it got to the knockout round, I picked all over the place. And when I had a preference, I put Daughters by John Mayer.
Nice.
And I knew the character arc I was going to have for that.
Right.
I already could see how to make my story work with how they would arc me. Never got that far. But because I think I got eliminated because I could already see. Right. I also saw that they were putting people who were pros and who were vets against children. I swear. And they would always take the child. And I would tell people this. I was like, yo, if you get up if you're with somebody you're twice their age, they're going to take the kid. So hope that the person saves you.
Ooh, gosh. And there was a save of that season too. Okay. But again, you didn't need that. You had the platform, and you didn't even need it. You didn't even need it.
It's just one of those things where if you're going to try for any of those shows, look at the show, see the strategy, and see what's up is my basic advice to you, because then you'll at least know how to fit yourself into that narrative. And remember, there is always a narrative.
Yes. Yeah, it's always a story being told. Yes. But you were doing things. I want to know. I saw you were like singing with Michael Bublé and Fantasia and all these amazing. You don't even remember that?
Oh yeah, I totally do. I sang with Fantasia. I was working for Ricky Minor. Ricky Minor gave me a few jobs when I first started out.
Was this before The Voice?
Oh, way before.
Wow.
And
okay.
So one of the first times I ever did the Tonight Show was with Fantasia right after she won American Idol. She couldn't have been nicer. She was so charismatic. And so then later to see her get all of that glory in The Color Purple, I was just so happy because she was one of those people you automatically root for her, and she's just so joyous, and I love the way she sings. And she just, I heard why she had some vocal issues, but I can tell why, because she doesn't know how to not give 110% every time she sings. And there's just something so joyous about that to me. She couldn't have been more lovely. And I remember when she got nominated for everything with The Color Purple, I, found like some old clip and I put it out or something. And I was like, congratulations to our queen. I'm so glad to see you finally get your glory. And she retweeted it. And so she's a good, not that makes her a good person, but it's just one of those things where the things that I, especially as I grow older, stick to are those little details, those small,
Yeah.
My uncle was a costume designer, and he said he hated the expression, the devil is in the details, because he said that's where God is. And I really believe that.
Wow, that's beautiful. And he did some big...
He did.
He did some big things.
The new Michael movie is coming out, and my uncle was Michael's costume designer for about 34 years. So I'm very interested to see how the movie interprets my uncle's work.
Wow.
And it was very personal. The glove was actually an accident. And it wasn't meant to be something that became as iconic as it was.
Wow.
And so sometimes I think about that because in my own career, some of the biggest moments I had were just kind of little flukes, little things that weren't supposed to stick, but they did. And it's one of those things that your career is a lot of planning, but a lot of it is serendipity.
Yes. Yeah. It's almost like a lottery.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, for American Idol, they said they they give you the list of all the things you could do for Hollywood Week. I was like, that's too new. I don't know that song. And I was like, that's a Ray Charles song. I guess I'll play that one. And then it's Georgia on My Mind. And then for some reason, I keep competing, but for some reason, everyone asks me to do Georgia on My Mind, even though I made it farther. They're like, no, go back to when you were on Hollywood Week.
Well, I get it because I remember seeing you and you were such a young little but the thing that I know what got you by is that you have the ability to be so earnest in your delivery, and that's your selling point. It's
Thank you.
what really makes you stand out as a star.
I appreciate that. What does earnest mean exactly?
It just means you're sincere.
Oh, thank you.
And
Okay.
your delivery is, it's not, and this is the key to me, what makes you a professional. Your sincerity can take on any character. So it's not like you're being Casey every time. You really rise to the character of the song, but you're very sincere in your presentation and it feels genuine. And I think that's what your audience connects with,
Thank
if
you.
I can be so bold.
Be bold, yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate that. I've been watching videos of you. You're always killing it. And I saw you live at the Troubadour with the family company.
Oh yeah, with the family company. Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that Jennifer Hudson made an appearance and you got to sing with her. I wasn't sure if maybe you were supposed to sing those songs.
Well, okay, here's what happened. They had me learn the songs just in case.
Okay.
But Charles Jones, who is so fabulous,
love
and
him.
please look him up, is
Yes.
I think it's I Am Charles Jones. I think that's his IG.
Yeah.
But just one of the best singers, keyboard players, writers, arrangers. Like, he does all the things. He's just phenomenal. And he has played with Jennifer Hudson for a long time, and he plays on her TV show.
Right.
So you can catch him on the J Hud show. He always looks adorable.
Yes.
Anyway, so he called in a favor and said, I'm pretty sure. So we didn't know up until like almost 2 hours before the show that she was going to make it. And then when she was, he was like, can you sing that high soprano over? And I was like, okay, cool.
Oh, but how can I give you all the things I could? Well.
So we just kind of rehearsed, and what we did was he played the keys and we left it open, and I just did the soprano over it, and then we sent that to her.
Okay.
But I don't even know if she listened to it, because obviously she knows, I mean, she pretty much is Aretha Franklin reincarnate, so it is what it is. Like,
Yes.
let's keep it a buck. But she was it was very sweet, because I don't think that she knew the soprano-y part was going to come, because the other background singers just learn, the pads. So when I came in with the soprano part, she looked behind me and she went... And it was very sweet. Like, she was really cool.
Gosh,
she was another
that's
one
awesome.
who went out of her way to just be very gracious, very kind, gave an incredible show, and really was, I mean, it was a wonderful night. There were so many great artists, but she really made it something to remember, and made it something really, really special. So,
Yeah.
and I could tell the other part that made me really, really happy is, okay, in our careers, we've been stars. We've also been sidemen. When you've been a sideman, you don't know if the celebrity you've worked for is going to show up, or be reliable. It's just really honest. So when they come through, and not only are they reliable, but they're gracious, they're kind, they're on time, they are considerate, and they want to give the best show like that. And I knew she did that because she loves Charles, and that made me love it even more.
Oh,
and I
that's
just
so
saw
beautiful.
the look on his face. He could tell. I mean, he loves playing with her. They just have a magical connection, and there's something about that when you find the instrumentalist that just gets you, and they get each other.
That's
And
so
she's also a
beautiful, yeah.
badass piano player. I don't know that a lot of people know that. Yeah,
I didn't know
she's
that.
she can really play. She's
Oh my gosh.
really
I'm
talented.
going to have to look that up.
I don't think that she every once in a while, like if you go on her like Instagram or something like that, you'll see her playing, but she's a church girl and she can really play.
Dang,
really
that's
play.
awesome.
She's so talented. She
But,
can
yeah,
that's why she's our EGOT. I mean, she's really talented.
Yes. Yeah, she's
And I
awesome,
think
man.
that she by design undersells some of her talents, which I think as black girls we sometimes have to do.
Oh,
Like
really?
the world don't get to see that we're good at so many things because it's kind of assumed that we're so good at so many things.
Oh,
Black
really?
girls just be surviving out here. So it's when you hear, look, think about it. Think about all the black girls even in entertainment. They can also do hair. They can do costume, makeup, carpentry. Like, think about,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
And they got that way not because they wanted to. They got that way because they were like, well, ain't nobody else. I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay. So you have to fight a little bit harder.
Yeah.
It makes you a stronger person.
But it also just makes you a more capable person.
Right.
But we also live in a society where you can't lead with your capability. The reward for competency is more work to do.
Oh no. Yes.
It is. Think about it.
Right.
Think about it.
Wow. Yeah, you're
The
right.
more competent you appear to be, the more they're like, oh, so we can give her 3 jobs. No.
No, please.
You figured out chords on piano for this one song. And then they're like, great, can you do these 5? And you're like,
Right.
no.
Yeah. So.
Or I could for these extra monies that you will have to be paying me because it's extra work, see?
I'll take some extra monies,
No,
please.
monies.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
monies.
The
I mean,
monies.
like, yes, I absolutely, that's my new thing. Like when people are like, can you do, I absolutely can for extra dollars. That will be this amount.
Nice. Yes. You got to stand strong with that.
Well, it's also knowing your worth. Mm-hmm. And I think we're in an age where knowing your worth, especially as a performer, is getting harder and harder. So you really need to be in line with who you want to be. Mm-hmm. Not just how you want to be perceived, but who you actually want to be. I don't know if you're familiar with the comedian Cat Williams.
Yeah, I love him.
So there's a special where he says, you got to get in line with your star player. And I never forgot that. And you do. You got to get in line with your star player.
What does that mean exactly?
The star you want to be.
Oh.
The person the star is you. You got to get in line with your star player.
Right.
Not put that person aside. Really swear allegiance to that person. Not who somebody else wants to design you to be or how anybody might perceive you to be. Who are you on the inside? In your wildest dreams, who's that person?
Right.
You have to align yourself with that person.
That's beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Because you're going to be your own worst critic, but your own cheerleader. You have to do it sometimes.
But you also
get
have
past
to
that.
find a way to be your best cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to be your own worst critic. That's the way you're going to grow. But you'll never grow beyond your criticism if you've never championed yourself.
Right. Yes.
And you have to champion yourself.
Absolutely.
And part of that means knowing I bring this to the table. So if you want me to bring extra, no problem. I got you. That will be this much more.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Have you talked to Macy Gray recently?
I have.
Yes. And how is she? How was that experience being with her?
It was very lovely in certain aspects. So I'm going to go with that and go with the lovely aspect parts of it. We did a show. My really wonderful friend, Honey La Rochelle,
Oh yes.
did a debut show of her own material at Spaghettini's, and she had Macy be the guest. And Macy showed up.
Wow.
She came to rehearsal. She was on time. She was gracious. She was lovely. And that was a really, really lovely experience. And I'm
Hey.
glad that I got to have that experience with her.
Shout out to you, by the way, because I said, Maiya, Miss Sykes, will you please come to my house at 1? And she's like, I'll be there at 12:45. I was expecting 12:47. You got here. You texted me at 12:38. You're like, I think I'm here. So shout out to you for being professional. I think
Well,
you're
I
the
do my best.
earliest guest. Yeah.
But I do my best. But I
Yeah.
also recognize, especially when you're an independent artist, it's funny. In my younger years, right, the independent artist thing, I'd always be like 15 minutes late because everybody else was 15 minutes late. And I'd always be like on time for the pro thing that was like going to pay my rent. And I was like, well, I need to flip that. I need to be professional at everything. And I need to show up even more on time for the independent artists because they have even less resources.
Right. Beautiful.
And if I'm saying I want to be an independent artist, would I want somebody to come to my thing? So a lot of it is I'm treating people the way I not only want to be treated, but how I expect to be treated.
Yes. Yes.
So-
do you think you got that from Yale? You went to Yale. I can't believe that. That's a smart thing. You got a
Yeah,
nice
apparently-
brain on you, right?
Apparently.
Yeah. Yale is it what are the Ivy League?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yale
And
is one of
were
the
you-
Ivies.
Were you doing music there?
I did music, political science, and African American studies.
Beautiful. Was it opera music or was it jazz?
You have to take, Yale is persnickety. In undergraduate, you can only take music composition.
Gotcha.
And then
Okay.
you can do a concentration in your discipline. But if you're going to do music as a major, it's only in composition.
Gotcha.
Then when you get to the graduate school level, you can major in voice if you want,
Okay.
or oboe or whatever.
Okay. Did you play any other instruments?
I play at the piano enough to get myself through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And enough to sight read things and make sure I can, sometimes I'll have students who will have material that they need me to plunk out for them, because they have some
sure.
audition or something. So I'll just be like, okay, here's the melody, here are the basic chords, that kind of thing.
That's good. You're good at knowing the chords and all that stuff. That reminds me of when you told me a little bit about Prince.
Yes.
What happened there?
Okay. The Prince story is a trilogy,
Okay.
if you will, and I will. Okay, so I worked at a club called the Sayers Club, and I think the Sayers Club still exists, but like for special occasions.
Okay.
But back in its heyday, it was like the place, and it was in the heart of Hollywood, and it was kind of the place where, because of the way it was set up, it almost was set up like a living room, because it had big couches around the stage, and it was very comfy and cozy. So it definitely had a home, like you were almost in somebody's home. I think that was its appeal, and for that reason, every star would come by. But in its heyday, I was doing this, they called it the Sessions, and the general manager was a guy named Jason Scopa, who now runs the Electric Jane in Nashville. So
cool.
Cheers to him. Anyway, where was I? So we're at Sayers, and we would do this show called the Sessions. And for the Sessions, they would do a lot of classic rock, things like this. Then on Friday, I always called that urban night, because that would be more, hip hop, R&B, whatever. So I would do mostly the Thursdays. And it wouldn't even start until like 12:30, and you entered through, there used to be a hot dog stand called Gray's Papaya, so you'd enter through Gray's Papaya to get into Sayers. It was very speakeasy like this, yes? So you'd play, and sometimes you'd turn around. Like, I remember one time I was doing Sweet Child of Mine, and I was like, wow, the guitar player's killing. I turn around and Slash. Like, that kind of thing would happen,
Wow,
Like,
okay.
I remember singing like a Florence and the Machine song with LP. We were like doing a duet, and Florence was in the audience. It's like she jumped up, and we were like, okay, can you sing the bridge to your song?
Wow.
And so, like, crazy things would happen like this all
Right.
the time. And so this one time I was there, and I was like, I think that's Prince. And he's playing along, and I just see him, and I was like, wow, that's cool. So the next week I get told that they're going to make a special show for Prince. So that meant that we were going to do sessions, ended at like 1:30, and then turn the club over and do it again at 3. Right? So I'm like, okay, let me take a nap, right? So, it's Christ.
There's couches there. Okay.
Oh, my Lord. No, I took a nap before. I was like sleeping all the way up because I was like, my Lord, today. Anyways. So we start playing, and Prince, I guess, has a list of maybe 50 people that he wanted to invite to this special, like just for Prince, the Sessions. So those people are there, and they tell us to get started. The way the sessions worked was there would usually be about 4 or 5 singers, and we'd each sing about 2 to 3 songs. And somehow I would always end up singing more. Remember, me and Charles, like we'd always end up singing like 5 to 7 songs. We were like, how did we get here? Anyway, so the night started. It was Stevie Brock. I remember he started singing, and they had another, I can't remember the other girl. Then they had Stevie go again. Then they had me. And then Prince came in right as I was singing. So then Jason said, okay, you stay back up there. So I was like, okay. So then I went to the second song. And then I went to my third song. And I was like, okay, I only rehearsed like 6 songs. So what are we doing here? So then Prince gets up, and he had a manager named Julia. And he kind of like did this to her. And she gave him $20. And he gave the $20 to the keyboard player and to play his keyboard. And I was like, oh, Prince is going to play. And he goes like this to me. And so I get back to my mic, and he starts playing. He's playing the intro to Rocksteady.
Whoa.
Like full on, right? And I'm like, I don't know who's singing, right? So then I missed the intro because I didn't know I was supposed to be the Aretha Franklin. So then he looks at me kind of annoyed, and he does it again. He's like, like rolls his eyes, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So then I realized like I'm supposed to be, so I'm like, Rocksteady, baby, that's what I feel now. Then when we get to the, and he's like, he knows all the harmonies, like, put your hands up in the air, killing it. We get to the bridge and he's like, rock, and I'm like, rock steady, and he's above me, rock steady, like high harmony, everything going, what it is, keyboard killing it, does a solo, killing it. I'm like, this is incredible, right? Then he snaps at Julia. She gives him another $20, tips the guitar player to use his guitar, and he comes in front of me. There's another microphone, like a duetty mic, and I moved to go to the backup singer mic because I thought I was on the lead mic, and he goes, right? So he starts playing Little Red Corvette. And again, I still don't know, like, this your song, sir. So I didn't know I was supposed to sing lead. So he starts the intro, and then he's like, and he like starts it again. So then I'm like, okay, guess I should have known. And thank God he played a song I knew, like, because, you know, that would have been really embarrassing, whatever.
Yeah.
So we do Little Red Corvette, and he's harmonizing with me, like, on the top harmony on his own song. So this is, like, very weird. And, like, killing the guitar solo. Don't know what's happening. And it's also like 4:45 in the morning, keep in mind. So then he starts playing the intro to Nothing Compares to You, right? And I turn to him and I go, okay, brother, I got to be the Rosie Gaines. And he starts laughing. And he was like, yes, you're the Rosie Gaines. So we duet on Nothing Compares to You. We start singing to the wee hours of the morning.
Wow.
We leave. It's like almost daybreak by the time we leave. Then we get a text going, follow these cars. And we ended up going to Paisley Park here, right?
Wow.
It was in Beverly Hills. So we go there. And you know that Charlie Murphy story where he tells about how Prince like played everybody in basketball and then made pancakes? Okay, he did that. So, but we're like dead ass tired, but nobody's going to be like, I'm not playing Prince basketball. So then he's like playing like all these very tired musicians like in basketball, right? And I'm like, yay, Prince. Cause like I have on heels and I don't know how to play basketball. So that's not my testimony. Then he makes us like very delicious pancakes. I get home, by the time I get home, it's like 8:30 in the morning. And I'm like, this day was like bucket list, you are shorter, right? So that's part
Bucket
one.
list what?
A bucket list, you are much shorter. Like if you had a bucket list of things, something you could do.
I thought you were saying he was short. Okay,
no, I was
sorry.
just like, well,
Okay.
he is. It's adorable. So I was just like, okay, chalk that up to like one of those
that's
nights, right?
amazing.
So cut to 3 weeks later. As I said, Prince would either come in with an entourage or he'd come in what I would call incognito. So this particular time, he came in incognito with a little cape, right? And after the thing was over, after the session was over, he tapped me on the shoulder. I turned around and I was like, oh, hello. And he didn't say hello, didn't say what up, didn't say anything. He goes, what's your favorite scale? Very Prince-like, you know? And I was trying to sound cool. So I said, Lydian flat 7. And he went, huh? And I said, well, you know, you got your sharp 4, but that flat 7's a cool surprise.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, and he walked away. And I was like, wow, that was strange. Didn't think anything of it. Cut to like a month and a half later, I get a call from Jason Scopa, and he's like, okay, Prince is doing 3 secret shows here at the Sayers Club, invite only, and he's requested that you be here on the second night. And I'm like, why? He goes, I don't freaking know, but can you come? So I'm like, all right, bet. So the night comes, I show up, you know, I got on my purple. They got a girl in VIP. She's drinking Veuve, like just looking very lovely. They come and they play this amazing set, super incredible. And then they go off, everybody's, you know, cheering, whatever. They come back on and they're wearing all white, whole band. Like they come back on, they're wearing all white. And they play one song and then it drops, like they drop off all the lights and they just like somehow had candle lights that were up there. So they like, everybody's in white. They've got all these candle lights and then they hand Prince the Purple Rain guitar. Right? And he starts launching into Purple Rain. Like people are losing their minds, right? And he's good. Purple Rain. Everybody's got lighters in the air. Whoop, 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 whoop. Then the part was like, then it gets to that part where it's like, and then it launches into that epic guitar solo, right? So audience is singing along. He starts launching into the right? And it took me a minute to catch it. But he had reharmonized it so it was all Lydian flat 7 skills. And when he saw that I got it, he took off his glasses and he winked at me.
That's magic.
And that was the purple one.
That is awesome. Congratulations on that. Wow.
R.I.P.
That's beautiful.
Because that was one of a kind. That was just like a one of a kind thing. Like nobody's going to do that. Like nobody does that.
No. That's a couple bucket list things
Yeah.
to scratch off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Costing.
Wow. Okay. Well, congratulations on the Prince thing. And so you teach vocal things.
I do.
Yes.
I teach vocal technique. And I am a heavy believer in vocal technique. So this is what vocal technique is to me. Vocal technique is the natural expansion of everyone naturally has 3 octave range, 3 octave range. Like that's what you just got. So vocal technique to me is expanding that in either direction, making sure that you can last as yourself for longer periods of time, and infusing technique into the songs that you sing so that you last it longer as a better you.
Right.
Not, I'm not a person who's trying to make you sound like someone else or is going to give you a specific style. My desire is how do we get you to sound like you for longer periods of time in the healthiest way? And how do we give you good throat support? Mm-hmm. Right? A lot of people, if you go to a singing teacher, they'll say, don't sing with your throat. And I am here to tell you that's impossible. Everything that makes the sounds is in your throat. What they mean is don't strain your throat. And that you can do with guided breath work. You can do that with strengthening your pharyngeal layer. Every singer should depress their larynx when they're done, and I'll show you the easiest way to do that. Everyone has an Adam's apple, so if you put your fingers on your Adam's apple, women's Adam's apples are not as pronounced, but the easiest way to know that you've put your larynx down is slide down using a So we're going to try that together. You feel that shift down?
Yeah.
That's you naturally depressing your larynx. So at the end of every evening, or when you know you've had some vigorous singing going on, make sure that you depress your larynx.
Okay. I would like for you to coach me. I know.
No problem.
I don't have the monies, but just as a
Well, I'm just going to give you the homie favor.
Yes. Okay. I have a song that I want. Oh, baby, you and me riding a train to our destiny.
Okay, so let's look at this,
Okay.
right? So I know people say use your diaphragm, and that's only 1/17 of the equation. So what we're going to call that instead is our abdominal core, okay? So now let's look at the vowels that you use and the consonants that you use. The consonant's job is to get you to the next vowel. Nobody sings tonight, they sing tonight, right? So your springboard is your oh baby, so use that as a lift. And then what we're going to do is we're going to suck in our abdominal wall at the you and me. So let's try that next. Okay, so breathe.
Oh.
Breathe. See how you just did this with your shoulders? Relax them back. No, just relax them back.
all right.
Now, open your mouth. Now begin.
Oh, baby, you.
There you
Oh,
go.
baby, you.
There you go.
Oh, baby, you.
Now, relax the throat. Let's make a yawn. Now, let's do it again. Oh, baby, you. See my U's more open? Try that.
Oh, baby, you.
There you go.
Okay.
See how that's way easier
Yeah,
to do?
yeah, for
now,
sure.
see how we're pulling in the abdominal wall to get to that top note? That's where our torque comes from. So that's us hitting the gas.
Okay.
Right? So that's going to allow no stress along the carotid artery. That's what
okay.
we want here. Okay? Yawn
okay.
again.
Actually, yawn?
Yes. See how that naturally opens up your throat?
Yeah.
Good. Now do it again. Oh, baby, you.
Oh, baby, you.
Good.
Oh, baby, you.
There it is.
Nice. Okay.
Feel the
Wow.
difference?
I feel it. Yes, I feel the difference.
And see how with a more open throat and by utilizing this abdominal support, it's not taxing this portion, right? And I can
Right.
see it different because when you were doing it before, because you're landing on the note in a tight way, it fatigues you, right? So see what I mean here?
Right.
We're infusing technique, right, into the phrase to get you to sound like your best you for longer periods of time.
Beautiful.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I get it. Nice. Thank you so much for that. Who is the nicest celebrity you've ever met? Maybe you've already said them.
Oh, you know, I'm gonna say Michael Jackson.
You met Michael Jackson?
Well, my uncle was his costume designer for years, and when my uncle passed away, I was trying to navigate things the best that I could, but it was very overwhelming, and I was like 27 or 28 at the time, so I was pretty young, and I got a call. And you know how now it'll say like unrecognized number or whatever? This just said call, which I thought was very unusual. And I picked up and this lady said, hello, I'm an operator, a telephone operator. Please hold the line for Mr. Jackson. And I was like, get the hell off my phone. And I hung up. And I was driving, by the way, when this happened. So she called another time. She was like, hello, we got disconnected. Hello, I'm an operator from some Telestar, sir. I don't remember. It was like some communications company. She was like, please hold the line for Mr. Michael Jackson. And I was like, lady, I have a lot to do. Please stop playing on my damn phone. So then she calls another 5 minutes. She goes, ma'am, please don't hang up on me. I really do have Michael Jackson on the line for you. And I was like, oh, crap. So I pulled over and she transfers the line. And Michael Jackson gets on the line. And he says, first of all, the opening sentence I'm going to say, it still floors me to this day. He goes, hi, I'm Michael. I don't know if you remember me.
What?
Because as a kid, Michael used to play with me in my uncle's draft room. He was a jokester and like a prankster. So he would have like that gum that turned your mouth black and whoopee cushions and the rings that would like buzz and stuff. And he would we'd play hide and go seek under the draft table and he'd like throw grapes at me. He was so fun,
Wow.
And that's why when the whole kid thing went down, I took that really personally because everybody who worked around Michael, there were a lot of people who had children and nobody would have brought their children. Things about a person if you work that intimately with them, and nobody would have brought their children around. And it was, and I always felt like it was a safe environment. I think what Michael might have had was Arrested Development, if anything, but I never, felt unsafe,
That's
so that,
good, yeah.
that made me feel sad for, when all
Yeah.
that happened, because I was like, oh, I really feel like he made an effort to make you feel, not just like you won the lottery, like you got to go to Disneyland, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And I remember him saying, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to be able to come to your uncle's memorial, but I just wanted to let you know how important he was, and he was a significant portion of my life, and he helped me really identify my own self-identity, through what he did, and I'll never forget him, whatever. And I was like, wow, it's just so lovely of you. And then on the day of the funeral, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie was his best friend in high school, my uncle's best friend in high school, and introduced him to his first wife. But between the two of them, they sent these like 6-foot towers of flowers. I ended up having to just put one on the coffin because we had to dissect one of them to get it through the door, And I just
Wow.
remember feeling like you didn't have to, this is one of the biggest stars in the world. And, just because he was a human being, he wanted to take time to acknowledge my uncle,
Oh, that's so
and
nice.
it was, a thing I never forgot. And I remember when he passed, I was getting all these weird calls, like, can you authenticate gloves? Can you do that? I mean, the man hadn't even been they hadn't even buried the man, and people were still like, and it just made me so sad. And I just remember wishing I could do more for the family, like wishing I could be, give them something. But I said, the one thing I can give them is I don't have to pay attention to this buffoonery. So I just shut it all out.
Nice.
And that
Okay.
I'm grateful for.
That's beautiful.
But I'm really grateful that the movie is coming out, but that the family had so much to do with the movie. I think that's really important. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know I'm going to cry. Seeing my uncle's costume still makes me cry.
Oh, wow.
We were very close, and I was very fortunate and blessed to have such a loving, close relationship with him. But, my uncle has a piece in every Hard Rock cafe in the world.
Wow.
And he has a bunch of stuff at the Grammy Museum because he was Neil Diamond's costume designer for 39 years.
Oh, wow.
Neil came to the memorial. That's actually, if Michael Jackson's the nicest, Neil's the runner-up, because Neil was, especially as my uncle was dying, Neil Diamond went out of his way to provide for my family, to provide just a soft place to land. He sent platters of food to the hospital when he knew like my family was coming to say goodbye. He helped me financially. He was just an incredible archangel, and everybody on that team, and Neil Diamond, incredible, incredible people. And yeah, that's one of the nicest individuals
so
I've
cool.
ever met. And he's just so gracious and humble, and has written so many incredible songs that I think are a part of the American fabric, that are a part of, if there's an American canon of music, Neil Diamond is definitely woven into that tapestry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. That's beautiful. What's the nicest compliment anyone's ever given you? This is your time to be.
the nicest compliment that anyone ever gave me is gonna sound weird. It was by a man named Ron Glass, who played in the show Barney Miller.
Okay.
And he was the black guy.
Okay. I'll look him up.
But and it was a sad occasion. Some friends of mine, Art and Babe Evans, their son Sage died in a car accident, and they are Buddhists, practicing Buddhists. But they had me come and sing a song, and after I was done, Ron, who I'm pretty sure was very sick and was in a wheelchair, said, "I want you to sing that at my funeral." And oddly enough, that was the nicest compliment somebody gave me because it meant that they wanted me to sing.
See you off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was something about that that really stuck with me. And I didn't know when he passed, I didn't know anybody to contact or whatever, but I just sang that same song and I dedicated him to it. I dedicated it to him, like to his spirit. I hope he felt that, but just having somebody say like, "I want you to be the representation of me."
Wow.
But then later when Art Evans passed, his widow said, "I want you to be Art's voice," and had me sing this specific song, "Here's to Life."
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was a wonderful full circle moment because I think there's a high honor in canonizing someone's life in that way. And I guess that in its own way is the highest compliment. It sounds a little macabre, I realize, but
you have some good words. What does macabre mean?
Dark, like morbid.
That is. I've never thought about that. I've sang at a couple funerals. One being my grandmother's, and it was Blackbird, and I think about that, and I didn't even realize till right now. I'm glad you said something because that was nice to play at her funeral, and my dad was there, my mom, so it's like there's something beautiful about that. And she was Jewish, and it's just music can be completely, it doesn't have to have a religion, doesn't have to have anything. It can it could just be whatever, and it's just giving that vibration to people. So.
And also, she must have been so proud of you. One, and to have her grandson sing about her life in such a meaningful way. You had to rise to that occasion.
Right.
I sang at my grandfather's funeral, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Yes.
One of the hardest things I've ever done.
You had to do it, and it was a good send-off.
And but I also closed my eyes, and I was like, "Jesus, you got this," because and
beautiful.
that's one of those where, sometimes spirit takes over. But I think that's why that's so important. I had a cousin named Derek, and he had a beautiful voice and could play church organ like nobody's business. But his main job was singing at very Kojic, that's Church of God in Christ, funerals. And he did it with the utmost respect and dignity. And one thing that you'll see, it's very ritualistic. All funerals are very ritualistic in their own way. But in a lot of Kojic funerals, they have this thing called the crown presentation. And they sing this song called "I Shall Wear a Crown," because this is from a scripture. Like, when you get up to heaven, you will wear the crown of glory. So the song is, "But I shall wear a crown." And I'm telling you, they're ushers, they have on gloves, they do a dance. And then the main usher takes the crown and puts it on the deceased, right?
Wow, okay.
It's like all kinds of pageantry. And Derek took that so seriously. Like, because this is especially in a lot of Baptists, a lot of Kojic churches, this is just one of those, this is the moment,
Right.
And, in the Jewish religion, there's a specific moment at the end of, right at the end of the funeral that's like the most sacred portion, Every religion has some kind of, every presentation, right?
Yeah.
Has some kind of significance where this one moment is right? And we're saying to our God, encompass our dead, lift them to the next realm, and however you're going to say that. And there's something really sacred about that thread. So when my cousin passed, and they took his so seriously, down to, they got the right color roses he liked, the right color crown. And I remember thinking, he would be so proud to see this. And that is it. Your grandmother would have been so proud to see you.
Yeah, do the thing, exactly.
And she's here.
She's here. Yeah, exactly. Where all of our loved ones are they're floating around us. That's a bad way of putting it. But they're
here. They're in, I don't know, you say it's in espíritu, en el santo.
You speak Spanish?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My grandmother was from Mexico in San Blas. My maternal grandmother.
Oh, okay. All right, nice. Well,
Your
I
spirit,
appreciate
that's it.
I
In your
appreciate
spirit.
you. That was really good. Good talking with you. Let's jam.
Let's jam.
All right.
Let's jam tonight.
Before we play, we were talking a little bit as you came in about the Marleys. So, who's the coolest? Did you have
That's
any
hard.
cool? Did you have any cool smoke sessions?
I did. Okay. So the Marleys are very purist. So they only smoke the true herb. That's what they told me, right? So at one point, like they had flown in and I think they were kind of waiting on their whatever. And I just happened to re-up that day. But I'm usually like a person who doesn't smoke a lot because I sing, you know? And when I do smoke, I have this device that kind of makes it into a cold vapor that's like kind of nice on your throat. Because, you know, hot is bad on your throat. It just is. It is what it is. So do edibles, kids, is the moral of the story. Anyways, so I just happened to have whatever. And so we were in the courtyard. They were like, oh, because they saw me with my vape pen. I was like, would you like some? They go, no, my sister, we only smoke the true herb. And I was like, 1 second. And I came back and I had my, you know, little, and they go, oh, you bless us, sister. And it was so sweet. And so every time I would see them, like if I performed or if I was just like around, well, I would always kind of make sure to have my little like my green offering.
The weed gods have been nice.
Well,
I
and
remember you
also
always said that.
because that's how the weed gods bless you.
Yeah.
You have to share.
Yes, that's beautiful.
But I feel like that's just in general. Like God reflects what you put out. So if you are a person who shares, it might not always feel that way, but you will be a person who's surrounded by reciprocity at some time. It might not be in the time you had hoped, but it's going to come.
It's gonna come, yeah,
Yeah.
eventually. That's beautiful. I remember I hung out with one of the Marleys. I'm sure they wouldn't care, but I won't say who, just in case. But I remember we were smoked back when I smoked. I was like, hey, we want to do some puff puff pass. They said we don't do that.
They do not.
Yeah, so they just literally, here's a joint for you. Here's
Yes.
a joint for you. Yeah.
Yes, they are not a puff puff pass society.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But also because a lot of people, especially like from like the Jamaica side, do spliff. So they, you know, cut it with tobacco. And that's pretty common. So sometimes they'll say like, this is a pure herb, this is a spliff, you know?
Right. Okay.
Excuse me while I light my spliff. Good Lord, I got to take her.
Beautiful. All right, I just wanted to know that. That's amazing. Okay, cool. All right, let's jam. All right, let's see. This is good. That's good.
No, but I also think that this is part of the shared experience. Like I'm learning from you, you learn from me. Ta-da.
Yeah.
I haven't sung this song in a long time. You know, this is the song I did on The Voice.
Why do you think I chose it?
Guess it's true, I'm no good at a one-night stand. But I still need love, I'm just a woman. These nights never seem to go to plan. But I don't want you to leave, will you hold my hand? Oh, won't you stay with me? 'Cause you are all I need. This ain't love, that's clear to see. But darling, could you stay with me? Why am I so emotional? No, it's not a good look. Gain some self-control. Deep down, I know this never works. But darling, you can lay here with me till it doesn't hurt. Why don't you stay with me? 'Cause you're all I'll ever need. No, this ain't love, that's clear to see. Darling, darling, don't you wanna just stay with me? If you know it, okay, sing along. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, because you're all that I'll ever need. Noticing love that is so clear to see. So darling, just stay here, stay here, stay here. Won't you just stay with me? 'Cause you are all that I'll ever need. Yes, darling, this ain't love that's clear to see. So darling, just stay here with me. Oh, stay here, stay with me every night. Could you just stay here, stay with me?
Okay, can you say masterclass in vocals? Thank you. All right, we'll put your social medias up on there. One more time for Maiya Sykes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes!
And give it up for my hero in all great things, the wonderful Casey on the bassy.
I love you.
I love you.
Much love. Yes.
We are idols.